We have had the most wonderful donors and volunteers that have helped us so much with creating this inside space, and we're not done yet. Between having the floors, I know I mentioned the last time we spoke that there was carpeting in here, very tired old carpeting, and when we pulled it back, we were very excited to see wood floors, and then we pulled it further and we were less than excited to see that it was actually plywood. So we did have to have new floors put in on this level.
Ann mentioned the flooring downstairs. Well, we had a similar type issue here on the second floor also. The flooring was not torn out, but it was in bad repair. So the decision was made to overlay the flooring upstairs, with the exception of the landing area. As you'll see, we actually have a shadow of a bookcase and a window seat that wrapped up here. So we felt it was important to keep this part of the original flooring in and to highlight some of the changes. Also, there was this door was moved over about 8-10 inches. So you can see the outline of where the door jamb used to be. So again, it's just those pieces of history that we're putting together to, identify how the process has changed over the years, the structure itself. But we wanted to make sure that we didn't lose those things as we were moving forward to taking on this building and turning it into our offices.
I guess as you walked through here and encountered all of these things, that had to be interesting.
Yeah, it really was, because the other thing that you'll find as you go down this hallway is the door that you see going into that room actually used to be part of a linen closet. So the linen closet came out to where the chimney chase is, and the door entering this room was actually in the middle of this wall.
Oh, wow.
So we saw those changes, and again, it's all salvaged underneath this flooring, so that when we do get the opportunity to come back and maybe redo the floors, we'll be able to, again, highlight those things and identify where the original entrances were, where the linen closet was, just those little pieces of history from where the original building was put together.
We also were just overjoyed that we had so many volunteers who helped with the painting. Between our own volunteers and then Simvention's Day of Service, they came and painted the entire inside of the building. It was just wonderful. And it's not looking tired anymore. What an amazing space that it's turned into. We've had countless meetings here. We'll have many more. We've had tea events here. We've had family reunions here. We really look forward to sharing this place with the public as an event venue. We're very excited to move our offices here. It'll be much more efficient as a workspace than our current offices. 18th century homes are wonderful, but they don't always provide for the best office space. This will be the executive suite, and we're so blessed to have Andrea Hickman of A. Hickman Design working on all the furnishings here as an in-kind donation to the organization. We are just blessed beyond measure because she knows the organization so well and knows what our needs are. The other interesting thing in this room, we talked about redoing the floors, and at one point the floor was actually open, both up here and downstairs, and we were able to bring in UMW students to see how the building was constructed. And some of the reason why we left many details as to how the building was constructed was because, to my knowledge, this is the only 19th century residence that the preservation students are able to visit on a regular basis that's not privately owned.
Yeah. Boy, what a great thing that is for the students.
Yes, I mean, as a preservation alum myself, I try to think about these things because I want to do, and we want to do everything we can to help the department because they're so helpful to us.
into an old house, no matter whose it is, it's the opportunities you find as you're working through it to, discover the pieces of history that were left and to, really follow the bread trail, if you would, of how things were put together and how things changed over the years. All right, we're in one of the closets upstairs in what's going to be our offices for our administrator and museum manager. The closet was unfortunately damaged by some water. So we took down the drywall, and this is what we've uncovered. So we have, the stonework the whole ways through that you can see that from the outside to the inside. And it's kind of interesting because, the craftsmen back in the day understood that you needed to have some blocking areas that you could put in wood to attach the framing to.
Yeah.
So it's it's the craftsman, again, understanding what the process needed to be. Once this closet is repaired, then we'll be able to, move our offices in here, because we don't want to do the work while we're sitting up here trying to work, repair work, waiting to work. So, but you can see the stone. This isn't going anywhere. This house has sat here for well over 100 years, and it's just not going to go anywhere. It's just spectacular craftsmanship.
To look at this is always just fascinating.
It is.
You get you understand the house.
Yeah, it's neat. That's the way I like to look at it. You think about building things today and the technology that we have and the tools that we have. These folks were out here with their bare hands, hammering these stones and making them fit together. So it's kind of, you have to think back to how they had to manage the project and putting this all together. So the architecture, when you look at the property and understanding again that these were all hand put up here. It wasn't cranes and lifting everything and putting in panels. Every one of these stones were hand touched and put in place. And
you look at it, and when you just said, that's so true about just making it all fit together. You look at this, and you can see we're just all different sizes of stones.
Yep, and it's not Lego. It doesn't snap together.
Yes.
So it's that big jigsaw puzzle, if you would, and making sure you got it put together well.
You're overlooking the Mary Washington Monument and just everything about the location and the history of this house.
It really is perfect. The monument is just outside some of the windows, so we're able to look at that, and we're looking forward to creating that wonderful accessible park-like setting outside. We've contracted with Sally Harmon from Field Design to create accessible pathways here and to create a park-like setting. It was so overgrown when we received the property, and so much of the plants that were here then we've had to pull out just so that you could see the building. So she will be creating just a lovely landscape. We're looking forward to our first meeting with her coming up, and really looking forward to seeing her designs late this summer or early this fall.
You and I stand here, and with the Mary Washington Monument in front of me, and to look at it, and you just all of a sudden you look at this, and you see that there really are a lot of possibilities. There's more space than you think.
There really is. So we look forward to having events here. We've hosted the Women's and Girls Fund for this year will be the third year. It's a lovely site for a tented event. We've hosted a garden club meeting here before with a tent, and we're looking forward to having that as a venue rental offering near in the future.
Just walking around here, you can see that just the possibilities and where this is going to become, and
yes,
another spot in another historic spot.
Yes, and I will say it was rather a disused site prior to us receiving the property, and we're really looking forward to elevating its educational potential, its contemplative potential. There's just so much to be gained by visiting this site.